it's nothing like that. It's usually things like, an extra Starbucks, and then we stop off. It's weird that we both thought of that. Society's family unit is in crisis as less and less people are making the commitment of a lifelong partnership together. It has been normalized, encouraged, and easier than ever to just throw in the towel when the going gets tough. With time at a premium, start by spending 20 minutes per week gaining thought-provoking inspiration towards a journey of self-improvement, ultimately improving your marriage, your family, your health, and your home.
Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, and this is our 11th episode. We just gotten done with Thanksgiving and Black Friday shopping, and it's Cyber Monday, so we thought that this would be a great time to talk about how we have found some simple ways to save money. So amid the Christmas shopping, how can you stick to a budget? This time of year puts our budgets and our planning to the test. There's no magic bullet for most of us to get ahead or save a lot of money unless you win the lottery or get some sort of inheritance.
That's what I'm counting on.
Making ends meet is tough, especially when you have a house, kids, and other responsibilities, especially on a modest income such as ours.
That's right. I think a lot of people are sort of in our situation where they don't earn, six figures or multiples of that. It's very hard to get ahead, and you're always told to save money and budget. And while making more money sounds great, that could obviously fix some of our problems. It's very important to have a budget, no matter what you make, because you can certainly blow your budget a lot quicker than you can make money. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like going on a diet, and let's say you wanted to be carb free. You can certainly eat more carbs than you can burn in a day. So it's not a case if you have a donut, you're probably okay. But if you have,
a dozen,
half a dozen or a dozen donuts, you sound like you've done that before. I have too. So that's going to take a lot longer to burn that off. So anyways, so we've definitely struggled with these issues most of our lives. We've been through all the ups and downs, just like a roller coaster, really. It's definitely something we've been through over and over again. We've been to the penthouse and down to the outhouse. We've, gone through thick and thin with this, where every time we feel like we get ahead, there's a setback. And it's not just that whole, welcome to life or welcome to parenthood. It's more than that. We've done it to ourselves many times. And how many times have we looked back and said, whoa, what happened to the $300 that we thought we had in the account? We were going to save that. Well, over one weekend, we slowly chipped away at it. It didn't. It really doesn't take much.
It wasn't one big purchase.
No, it's not a big purchase. We're pretty conservative by nature with most of our purchase decisions. So it's not like this was something that happened where somebody goes out and buys a pool table, which I'd love one of those for Christmas, by the way. But it's nothing like that. It's usually things like, an extra Starbucks, and then we stop off. It's weird that we both thought of that. Or that we bought something off Amazon for the kids, or, I needed to go run to Home Depot and pick this stuff up for the house, and $20, $30 here, $50 there.
It's not like we're out shopping at TJ Maxx and Home Goods every weekend, or anything like that.
But we weren't very financial savvy in our 20s, probably still not in our 30s, but we certainly made it a lot harder on ourselves. We didn't realize what it would be like when we got the adult bills, the big boy bills, because I don't even know what we did with our time. I really don't know what we did with our money. We weren't earning very much, but honestly, it just went to a lot of little stuff that we had nothing to show for it after a while. And every time we got a little bit ahead, we'd get out of credit card debt or whatever, pay something off, boom, right away we'd put something else, on the card.
And this is another way to get out of that victim mentality. Right. It wasn't circumstances that happened to us. It wasn't, oh, we just don't make enough money, or, oh, we had some huge hospital bill or something. No, we take full responsibility for the way that we have spent our money.
We chose to have pets, and we had to take care of their
Finances.
right.
Our pets' finances.
That's sad to say, but they're very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But we chose to,
drive nice cars.
Have good vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
We took care of them, but
Mm-hmm.
we chose to get into a house. We chose to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
We chose to do a lot of things, and we certainly have not lived a lavish lifestyle, but we've learned to live within our means. And today it would be great to go through some things that we've done to save money. And we continue to do these. We're not perfect at them, but we are still finding ways we never thought of before. And COVID certainly brings about some of that opportunity as well. The reason we're doing this episode right now is our first tip, which is Black Friday shopping, is really not something we've ever jumped on or gotten into the fray like some people have. We didn't go wait in line. We didn't go camp out
at 5 a.m. for anything. I'm sorry.
Right. And I guess we're fortunate that we don't see that as our only opportunity to buy the special gadget and toy for the kids, or the TV, or the who's and what's it gizmo that everybody thinks they need to have that year. The second thing is, we have said this just a little bit before, but it's worth repeating. We live within our means. We stay in our financial lane. We've always been pretty conservative. When we bought a vehicle, not only have we made them last, we've taken care of them, but we didn't get the big option. Usually when we're presented with, let's say you had 3 options, we usually pick the one in the middle, if not the cheapest option. So also, we cook our own food. This sounds no-brainer. This was before COVID, though. This has been going on ever since we've been together. Allie has always been a good cook, and she knows how to make certain things, and I've done certainly my fair share of cooking, but not as much as she does. So it's great, though, to be able to live off of leftovers the way we do. And
I'm not a leftover fan, but luckily Ben is. So he usually takes care of them for me. But I'm fine with having like the most random things to eat during the day. Like, I'll eat cauliflower and mashed potatoes for lunch and I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have to have like a meal.
And that's the other thing. We don't keep junk food around. We still don't do that. We are very good about not snacking. If you have it in the house, you're going to eat it. You're going to drink it.
The food that we buy each week is for a purpose. And the food that we buy each week gets eaten each week. When people come to our house before I've gone to the grocery store for the week, they think that like we need help because our fridge is bare. And that's because we go once a week, we buy what we need, and we consume what we need.
We make a meal plan. We stick to it very strictly. I think we do have a little bit of flexibility if we need it, but
you're not going to see a bunch of extras.
Yeah, exactly. We don't pick up a lot of extras. And I think that's one thing with COVID, with grocery delivery, it forces you to pick out what you need, and you don't get those impulse buys walking through the grocery aisles. But we've also always fixed our own house, our own vehicles. The recent example on the truck was we fixed a couple of the filters in the truck that probably cost us, including parts, about $35, $36. And if we had the dealership take care of it, it would have been over $70, so over double. Not a big deal.
Same thing.
Exact same thing. Took me 15 or 20 minutes max. That included double checking how to take things off properly and not break anything. And to back up a second on the food option too, another thing that we've done, even when we do eat out, it's a treat. And we've always kept it that way. We probably eat out once a week, maybe twice. But if that, and when we do, typically we've shared things. We've done that many times. We don't always get drinks. I think now that it's more of a treat than it was before, we do indulge and get a drink. But we certainly don't get the most expensive things on the menu. We don't get appetizers that often. There's times we get appetizers, and that's our whole meal.
Yeah.
It's just so much food.
Yeah.
But we've also always done our own hair. Allie has become quite the hairstylist, quite the barber for me. She helps shave the beard. She helps cut my hair. She's done that ever since we've been together.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've been doing my own hair for over 10 years.
Yep.
Since when we were in college, I would go to the beauty school and have them do it with me. Then we went back home, and my aunt would do it for that year that we were home. But I really, really watched her when she would do it, and learned how to. I'm blonde, but not naturally.
Kind of a dark.
Yeah. So
blonde.
I foil my own hair, with blonde and everything, and then my aunt also let me purchase a wax kit from her, so I wax my own eyebrows. Do you know how much girls pay to have their eyebrows waxed? Like $20, including tip. That's insane to me. The kit that I bought from my aunt was $50, and I've had it for 10 years. That's just crazy to me. And I wax my eyebrows every time I do my hair, which is every 6 weeks. And for people to be spending $150 plus on their hair is just crazy. I mean, yeah, it's not the best, and yeah, I screw it up, but here's the other thing is I don't care that much, and it works, and I hope that no one's ever said, Ben, you look like your wife cuts your hair, or something like that.
We're allowed ball caps now anyway. It's okay. So those are a few things we've done right off the top. I think a recent example with COVID was something we probably never thought we would do.
I sold my SUV. After COVID came along, we were 5 months in or so, and it just sat in the garage. I'd drive it to the store once a week, but for the most part, we were throwing Cadence's bike in the truck and the stroller in the truck and going to the park and just not driving the SUV. It just sat there, and quite honestly, it was in the way.
We have a one-car garage, so
moving through the garage.
It was hard to get in
and out.
Getting
bikes out.
Now, if we had the money, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But with you resigning from your job and money getting tighter after the months were going by, we had thought about it, but going down to a one-vehicle household was a little scary for a minute. I mean, we took some time to really, once again,
just because nobody knew
we're
what
very
was going to
conservative.
happen. We didn't know if my business was going to work. We didn't know if travel was going to happen. But then once some decisions came down the pipeline, we were like, okay, this is a no-brainer. Let's save the car payment and insurance and tags and taxes. Which equaled out to about $450 a month. That doesn't even include gas, but maintenance, all of those things. It was just a no-brainer. It really is. And we don't miss it. And, with that extra $450 a month is helping us achieve other financial goals that we have. Even with me earning the income that I was earning, working 40 hours a week,
Well, and this ties into our next couple of points, but also one of the big parts of our vision for our family is to be able to do more of the things that we want to do when we want to do it, within reason, of course. We're not going to go break laws and do whatever we want without restriction, but we want to be able to go see things, go do things, not constantly be prisoners of our finances or of different things. We want to be able to have some freedom to do some of the things that we want to do. And I think that's not just us. I think a lot of people are realizing, hey, it's great to not have to go to an office every day and be away from the home 9-10 hours a day. But obviously, eventually, if all this goes away or goes back to some sort of normal, that may change, but definitely for the time being, that gave us some more flexibility, more options. So going into our next point.
Yeah, I mean, by selling the SUV, it goes right into the next point of that we strive to kind of be minimalist. And that doesn't mean that you walk into our house and we have no furniture. Being a minimalist doesn't mean you don't have anything. Being a minimalist means that the things that you do have create the most purpose for you, and bring you joy as well. We do have a storage area in our home, and yes, it gets packed full of some things and things that we don't touch and things that just move from house to house with us. But that's because those things mean something to us, and it's not worth it for us to sell or get rid of. But open up our linen closet upstairs, and there's like 4 towels, 4 hand towels, 4 beach towels, and a couple of comforters. Like, it's not this like overwhelming linen closet that's like falling on top of you.
And we don't really use our attic.
No.
We don't have storage that we're paying for to keep all of our extra stuff somewhere. I mean, that seems a little crazy. So we definitely purge quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I know, you've been selling stuff.
Yeah, I don't have to keep every single outfit that Braden wears,
right.
And stuff. It's like, yeah, I kept the outfit that he came home from the hospital in and a couple of other cute things, but that's it. Everything else that he wore one time, I'm going to sell that to someone else who maybe can't afford to buy it brand new or full price like I did. But at the same time, another way that I save money is I do buy used as well. We don't buy our clothes used, but for the kids, I mean, as they're still growing, oh my goodness.
We usually go to the clearance section when we shop, so. Ben and I have worn the same stuff for 10 years. Like, okay, yeah, let's buy it new so it lasts us 10 years. But the way that Cadence puts holes in her leggings, like, no. Those become shorts. You just cut those off and roll them up.
Yeah, another money saving tip. Cut your kids' pants into shorts.
She loves it.
So, other things that we do, just a little bit of a background is that I originally went to college to become a home ec teacher. So that has come in handy, number one, with my passion for cooking, but also sewing. When COVID first started, we didn't know where this whole mask thing was going. And so I actually had some scrap fabric and I had some scrap elastic that I had. And so I sewed our masks for COVID to start with. We've since collected some different freebie ones and stuff from Ben's company and other places. Baby food, that is, I don't want to add another thing to my grocery list every week. And so I'll buy 5 bananas and it'll make, not even 7 days. It'll make like 14 days worth of baby food, and stuff if he were to only have bananas, type of a thing. So I make that in bulk and cold brew. If you haven't figured out, we do love Starbucks, but Starbucks is a treat for us, and that's usually on the weekends. But that doesn't mean we don't drink cold brew throughout the week, because we drink a lot of coffee throughout the week. And so we do make our own cold brew with a French press, a $10 French press that we bought from IKEA. And every day, we grind the beans and put them in our French press, and it makes 2 cups for Ben and I for the next day.
There are things, that we are willing to spend some time on, but we do have young kids, and I don't have the ability to say, okay, yeah, I'm just going to spend my entire weekend on this project and barely see my kids and do anything with them. Mm-hmm. So it's not worth
Time
that.
is money. That's what you have to remember. Time is money. We kind of have like an hourly rate in our head, and whether or not it's going to be worth it for us to do it. So one of the biggest things that will save us money in the long run is focusing on our debt that has interest. Like we said, we're not perfect. We have debt.
Yeah.
We have major student loan debt. We are a part of that big old number. And we have credit card debt. And obviously we owe money on our home, and we owe money on a vehicle. So we are focusing on our debt that has interest first. We have some debt that is, promo, 0 interest type of a thing. But what's the point in saving money beyond an emergency fund when you're...
Which you need to have
when you're paying interest on debt. So, we have an emergency fund, which everyone should have, but especially if you have kids and a house, you need to have a little money set aside for emergencies. But beyond that, focus on your debt and that interest and that money that you're just basically crapping away every month,
Yeah, why play the stock market when you're
Yeah.
paying a bunch of interest on debt that needs to get paid off? You're just burning cash, essentially.
And we've got a long ways to go.
Right.
A long ways to go. But we hope that some of these tips help some of you, and that we can all help each other, learn to be more financially independent. So like we said, we don't have it all figured out, but we're always looking to get better.
So the call to order for this week is to make financial goals. Set financial goals that are SMART goals, and be sure they're realistic. That is something that we struggle with at times. I think we don't buffer it enough. We don't give ourselves enough flexibility because things come up. There's distractions. You get tired sometimes. You have a bad day. Obviously, there's surprises. Kid needs to go to the dentist, get a tooth taken care of, or something breaks in the house like a dryer or a washer. And there's just things that you do have to prioritize sometimes that maybe wasn't on your list. But set goals. Set goals with priority. Make sure that they're SMART goals, and have a plan for even the smallest things. This could be anything from a small getaway, a trip, a vacation of any kind. Set a goal that you're going to spend this much money. Okay, we're going to spend this much on food. We're going to do this much for entertainment. We're going to do yada, yada, yada. And same with DIY projects at home, if you have a home, is to set a budget, research it, see if there's another avenue you can take. It's important to take the time and look at that stuff and research it, know what you're getting into, because typically things don't go according to plan when it comes to house projects. Same goes with activities with kids. If you want to take them somewhere and do something, set a budget, set a target. Go to Worlds of Fun and Six Flags or whatever, but know what you're going to spend, not just on tickets. There's food, there's gas, there's other things you're probably going to spend money on. Set goals and stick to them. That will help all of us get better and better and have more financial freedom in the future.
If you're ready for your marriage and family dynamic to thrive and not just survive, all it takes is 20 minutes or less joining us each week. It begins with a journey of self-improvement while you sit in the carpool lane, commute to work, squeeze in a workout, or get halfway through folding that laundry pile. Be sure to check out the blog at thefamilyorder.com and follow us on Facebook at The Family Order. If you're ready to start your journey, be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss new episodes every Monday.